потускневшие цветы, в которых запах твой. Ты оставила мне их, ты оставила мне их. В хрущевке мы вдвоем и тесно. Кофе выпитай все, что вижу. Мотылек и дым от сигарет. Потускневшие цветы, в которых запах твой. Ты оставила мне их. Я помню те вечера. Мы жили в хрущевке вдвоем. Тебе надоели мои слова. Моя жизнь мне теперь нипочем. Электричество все отключили. Про меня и тебя все забыли. Я зажег все последние свечи. Так угасла вся наша любовь. Я помню те вечера. Мы жили в хрущевке вдвоем. Тебе надоели мои слова. Моя жизнь мне теперь нипочем. Электричество все отключили. Про меня и тебя все забыли. Я зажег все последние свечи. Так угасла вся наша любовь.
Hello and welcome to Wagga Facilitator
and our production of Sharing Stories, Sharing Place.
Yay, I'm pretty nervous. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
We'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wiradjuri people, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
We feel very lucky to be able to live and share our stories.
Please note that our play includes stories of refugee experiences. Support is available if needed through Stars Wagga, with Stars staff present here today, and information in the foyer.
Oh, and put your phones away and on silent. And please, no photos, cast, that goes for you too.
Now over to you, Elvien, in Kumanji.
بخير هاتنش وقا Facilitator أما إيرو قصة خوا بيجدن وقصة خوا بري مدبي ون احتراما فانيت استراليا بري بكنو نهجي وأم قالك محدود نجبر هكا ون هاتنا أفيدري البرقصين ما الواقا واقا أما سر رقصي ربيبن وسر حفلة ربيبن تشتكي قالك مهم أم همو نات أسترالينا هريكش ما إيش دولتك قديا وهجش ومساعدة في ونكارنشنا ستارتس وجا أباكريا هجقابي بنيت شورت في ونكارنشنا ويدري هكون همو كارن ون موبايلت خوا بمرينن وسامتكن.
Enjoy the show.
Tut elimi buradan gidelim olmaz demeden dinle beni bir rüzgarım söndü dindi ateşim ah bebeğim ben hala deliyim. Sen yokken ne gece ne de gündüz ne ay var ne tek bir yıldız her yer karanlık ve ıssız göremiyorum.
What? What are you doing? The show is about to start and all we can hear is you singing.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? The audience here. You are holding everybody up, listening to depressing music, you sloth.
Don't call me a sloth, you big donkey.
Shut up, you always do this and embarrass us.
Oh my God, Roz and Lydya, hishba.
Ne biçim haber hışba?
Hışba.
Ayda kenat haber
Jackie
vasıfdaki.
hishba, oh
Ben
my
ne
God.
Sisters.
Can you get some different music, please?
I really like this music.
Alikuwepo baba jina lake tupa tupa, hebu ngoja leo sikia nyimbo. Alikuwa tajiri tena mwenye sura nzuri, kila aliyemwona alijua mambo sawa. Mzee tupa tupa alipoona wadada, kila aliyemwona alijua amepona. Mambo yake yalikuwa ni hivi, hebu ngoja leo sikia nikwambie. Mtoto mzuri, Marikia, Marikia, mrembo kama wewe unatembea chini.
This is my favorite subject, my first impression when I first arrived in Wagga.
You don't call curry, and you don't call gin. You don't call moony, and you don't call king. You never call penny, and you don't call grong. And you never call wagga, no sir, call them wagga is wrong.
So, we basically signed up to go out to America, and they were like, sorry, we're too full. And we were pretty sad because life in Turkey was pretty hard, and my parents tried their absolute best, give us the best childhood they could. And then they called us from the UN, and they were like, we can sign you up if you want to come to Australia. And we're like, oh yeah, please, like 100%, definitely. And our mind was like blown, because like, oh my God, these Australians, they have blonde hair and blue eyes, and they have oceans and everything. Like, bro, these Australians are like models. And then we arrived in Wagga. And it wasn't what I expected at all.
Hold on. So when we first came to Wagga, I thought that we could see kangaroos everywhere because you guys have so many from your houses. But when we came in, we didn't.
Back in Africa, they used to tell us that in Australia there was no ground, so we thought the house they were floating. But when we came to Australia, we saw ground. Then we started thinking, we thought there was not going to be a ground. We thought house they were going to be floating, so we didn't expect to be ground.
Oh,
We were
nice.
surprised.
And then I thought you guys had pizza and burgers every day, just like with butter chicken every day.
I wish.
Yeah, me too.
Where was
Hey,
I
don't
up
push.
to? Oh yeah. The case took us to our new house. And I was barefoot. And when I jumped out of the car, I was like, oh my God, something's burning. Like, what is this? And she goes like, oh, this is just how hot it gets sometimes. Like, this isn't even the hottest. And I was like, bro, are you kidding me?
And yeah, when we came to our new house and I saw everything, it was kind of like a dream. In my country, we didn't have beds to sleep in, so I thought that just happened in the movies. I had been watching lots of movies where there was beds, sofa and stuff, and I found that in my house, and I was like, it's real.
And because we didn't know any English, it was really weird when he saw us to Aussie talk. It was part admiring and part I want to know what you're saying. Because like when he saw and heard them talk, it was like, yeah, how's it going, mate? Yeah, not too bad, mate.
I thought you guys spoke just like us, but you guys held on us like this. It was hard to understand at first when we came in.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, not much, mate. Mate was at the end of each sentence. Like, what does it even mean? And do they have to put it at the end of each their sentence?
I didn't expect to learn English so fast.
Same.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yeah, kind
Same.
And so many close tall buildings.
So many tall buildings, just like Bangalore, with shiny windows in towns, but a desert outside the cities.
When we first arrived in Australia, we were walking normally just in the airport, and my mom saw a woman holding her son's hand with a leash. And she was like, oh look, she's holding her son like a dog.
Oh no.
And that's when we realized she's Arab too, and she understood everything we were saying.
So when we first came to Wagga, my parents thought that if the children yelled in the house a lot, the neighbors would call the cops. So whenever me and my bro yelled, my parents were strict. So they said, shh, don't talk.
I remember getting into our new house, and I couldn't move because I was sick. But then I saw donuts. I jumped like a kangaroo because it was my first time seeing a donut in real life. In Turkey, I watched donuts on TV, and I wished I could have one. And my wish came true.
I didn't expect Mama to learn how to drive car so fast, and she have never driven car before. It was pretty amazing.
I was amazed at the kids' ages. You know, when they would say, oh yeah, I'm 14 or something, and they looked like they were 18 because of their height. And bugs. There were so many bugs that I didn't expect.
It's a dance magic. Iraq is Congo.
Stop the show! India as well?
Iraq is Congo and India. Iraq has the ball now. Iraq is going on. Iraq has the ball. India fall down. India fall.
That's
I play every sport, but my favorite is soccer. It's a very famous sport in my country.
When I was little, my family had it on TV, like 24/7. Especially when the two famous teams were playing, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Everyone, like neighbors, friends, they would come to one of the houses and watch it together.
هذه خطيرة والهدف الأول مش ممكن دخلت ما دخلتش ترجع الكرة من فران ضاعت على الريال أيو مدريد في البداية والكرة ترجع من الدفاعات الكتالونية عرضية أخرى جول مش ممكن فنتكم كبيرة تخوف.
It was a nice moment. Back in my country, they were saying I can't play soccer because I'm a girl. But when I came to Australia, I saw girls playing at school. I thought that's just for the school. But I went to the oval with my brother, and I saw girls everywhere playing soccer. I couldn't believe it at first. Then I joined it, and I just loved it.
Elvien has won lots of awards.
And she got through to play for the Wagga Waggas next year. Whoop,
She's so fast.
Huh?
Tell them why.
What?
The dogs. Tell them why you're fast.
So back in my country, no one took care of dogs or fed them because they were eating chickens and sheep. Almost everyone had chickens and sheep in their farm. So one day, I told my mom I'm going to go and get some ice creams because it was a very hot summer day. She told me not to, but I didn't listen to her. It was only 5 minutes walking. As I was walking, I saw 3 dogs on the shade, kind of sleeping, but I made myself that I didn't see them. So as I was stepping, one of the dogs looked up. He closed his eyes, and I had one last step. Then he ran at me. I ran as fast as I could, but when I looked back, he was very close to me. I screamed that my cousin heard, and he came up to me. He was like, "Geez, you're fast, but I will never guess it's because of the dogs." And from that day on, my family makes fun of me, and they say the reason I'm fast is because of the dogs. My family don't really like me play soccer here because they say focus more on the school and stuff. But when I grow up, I want to go into those big fields and play with my friends. And that's my dream.
Wait a second. I have a dog story too. You forgot me, you know. So, back in Burundi, when I was 9 years old, we were celebrating the end of the year. I was really happy with my family, especially because my mom and my mom friend were going to bring me my favorite food. So I was really happy. So my mom friends, they brought my favorite food. I ate until I was full, but I didn't stop eating. I kept eating. I ate until I was so full. So I wanted to go to toilet. I went to toilet. I didn't tell anyone that I'm going to toilet. I thought I was so brave, I can go by myself to toilet. So I went to toilet. The toilet was still building it. It didn't have walls, but I knew it was at night, no one is going to see me. So I went to toilet by myself. I went to toilet, get in toilet, and sit, and start doing my things. Then, when I was doing my things, I heard a growl. I looked. I saw a dog. The dog looked at me. I shot and jumped and started running. The dog started chasing me. I was so scared. I was shouting so much. When I was running, I remember one thing that I forgot to do. I forgot to pull up my pants. So I tripped on my pants. I fell down. But since I was shouting so much, my mom and my sister, they held me inside. They came outside, helped me, and took me back inside. I was so scared. Until that day, I will never forget that day. But now I don't really scare dogs anymore, so I'm very happy.
I've got a story.
A dog story?
No, it's actually a snake story. Back in my country, we used to sleep all in one room. My dad was asleep with his family, and that's when a snake came in. It went around all the members, each one of them. And then it went to my dad's stomach. It was a really hot summer day, so my dad didn't have his t-shirt on. And it stood on his stomach like this. My dad said he's seen its eyes. They were really big. And then my grandma came and just put cold, really cold water on it, and it just freezed. And my dad took it from his tail and threw it away.
I have a story.
A snake story.
No, it's a story about stories. So, when I was a child, I was really close to my grandmothers. One lived in the city, while the other in the village. In the village. I couldn't stay without them for a long period of time. So, as I remember, everybody sleep on the tile floor. And I used to sleep next to my grandmother, sharing one blanket. And I was tiny, so it fit. Yeah. And then every night she used to tell me stories. They could be anywhere from memories from my childhood to mythological stories from our culture. And sometimes I just used to drift off to sleep without listening to the ending.
ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ನನಗೊಂದು ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿ
ನಿನಗ ದ್ರೌಪದಿ ಸಂಯವರದ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಪ್ಪಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಾಭಾರತದ ಕಾಲದೊಳಗ ಪಾಂಡವರು ಅಜ್ಞಾತವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು. ಅಜ್ಞಾತವಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 12 ವರ್ಷ ವನವಾಸ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು 1 ವರ್ಷ ಅಜ್ಞಾತವಾಸ. ಅಜ್ಞಾತವಾಸದೊಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಗುರ್ತು ಹಿಡಿಬಾರ್ದು ಯಾರು, ಹಂಗೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾತವಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದೊಳಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ದ್ರುಪದ ರಾಜ ಅಂತಿದ್ದ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗಳು ದ್ರೌಪದಿ.
Good memories. That was actually my grandmother, guys. So, and then I turned 4, and we went back to the city for education. And during the holidays, we came back to the village, and it was my first time seeing my grandmother after so long. And I was so excited. And then my mom and brother went back to the city, but I stayed in the village for a longer period because I loved the village life, because we had like 6 coconut trees in the backyard, and monkeys lived there with the whole family. And there was a whole farm full of sunflowers. And I used to shield them, and I never got caught. So one day, it was morning, I was watching my favorite cartoon, sitting on that oversized chair, which my uncle used to use, because he was fat. And then, what happened? What happened? The electricity cuts off, like always, every single day in my village. I just got bored and went outside to feel the cold breeze of the morning. I was still tired because it was morning. I just laid on the elevated patio next to my house, staring at the clouds, not moving a muscle. I don't know how long I slept there for, but it got sweaty under my back, so I rolled. But I rolled too much, forgetting how wide the patio was. I fell face first into the open gutter, which was filled with wet clay, and green algae was growing on it. I was shocked. I didn't move for 5 seconds, my face still in the gutter. I slowly got myself back up with my 2 hands, closing one eye because there was dirt. I slowly got up from the gutter. I stretched my shirt because I didn't want my skin to get wet. I slowly got up the stairs and I saw my grandmother talking to the neighbor. The neighbor looked at me and he laughed hysterically. He said, when we do play Holi, it's not the 3 months. I just cried, because who does that to a child? It's so traumatic. And then my grandmother comforted me. She showered me and took all the dirt off my nostrils and my ears. I was still sobbing then. And then she gave me sugarcane Sichuan, which made me so happy.
Took me and my mum downtown when we first came to Australia. And we were entering all these amazing shops. But then we entered this massive shop. And can I just say, it looked like a whole mansion. It was so big, it was so clean. And whatever you asked for, they had. From like drink bottles to watches to clothes, like whatever you want. And she's like, would you like to try some stuff on? And I was like, heck yeah. I felt pretty spoiled. And rich. And then we entered the change rooms, and OMG, it was so big. The mirrors were huge, and you could feel my whole family in there, which are 9 members. And I was trying to ask her, like, what is it called? Because I didn't know much English. And then she understands. And guess what? It was called Best and Last. I was like, of course it's Best and Last. It's definitely the best. The next day at school, I'm trying to describe it to all my friends and teachers. And they're like, Roz, we've never heard of this, like, shop. Like, we don't know what, because I was describing it and I didn't actually say the name because I forgot. Fast forward a few months later, me and my teacher/neighbor, we were walking there with her daughter, and we were going there, and as we were walking, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited, we're going to Best and Last. And she laughed, and she's like, I've never seen anyone this excited to go to Best and Last World. Like, why? It was a bit weird, because Best and Last is great, I think.
City called Behzani, but then I had to move, run from the ISIS when I was 6.5. So I moved to a city called Sina and Sheikh Khidr. I didn't talk to anyone, not until my sister did. It was a huge group of girls and boys, and that's when me and 5 other girls made our band. The members were me, my sister Rose, the leader Shaifa, the second leader Samira, and our friends Sonia and Iman.
Live in the moment, you won't regret it. Live in the moment, you won't regret it. Live in the moment, you won't regret it. Live in the moment, you won't. اليوم بنعيش وبكرة يرحل اليوم ورايح ما أسأل بدل بكرة الجاي وين حتى كحل بيه العين العالم جميل وزين وزين يخلي العالم أجمل
migrate. Emma moved to Germany. Then Sonia and Samira moved to a farm. Me and my sister were the third and fourth members to leave the group and the band. And that's when I was 10, because I moved to Turkey. In Turkey, I had my only 2 cousins, and they were mine and my sister's only friends. Not until my mom had a close friend who had 2 daughters our age. I couldn't believe it. The little one was kind of mean to me and kind of bullying me, but I don't care. Now that I'm in Australia, I would like to start my new band with my new friends. Who would like to be in my band? Me! You, what's your name? What's your name? Haya. Roz and Haya are in my band.
Lydya, I had a best friend who I left behind, and her name was Shreen. And I have a picture of her. Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
I had some friends too in Burundi too, and in Transfer, so many friends.
I left my best friend in Turkey. Her name was Buse, and we lived in the same building.
I had so many friends back in India, and they live right across the road to us, and we catch the bus for school.
Oh my God, it's
So good morning class, my name is Amogh.
And I'm Elvien.
And today, what's your name?
Yes. No, what's your name?
No.
Let's move on. What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name? Name.
Oh, okay.
So what?
Ayubu.
Ayubu?
Ayubu.
Ayubu.
Yes.
Ayubu. Oh shit. Okay, don't worry. Okay, let's move on. So today we're gonna learn about the days of the week.
Monday.
Monday.
So when we first arrived in Wagga, I was so excited to go back to school because I haven't been to school about 5 years and a half. So, and our caseworker took us to shopping, and the first thing we brought was some black leather shoes. Thank you. And I thought, why couldn't I just get cool shoes from Best and Less or something? The second thing we brought was some hair clips. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
And, of course, our school uniform. I was so excited to go back to school, and I couldn't sleep the whole night just staring at my uniform.
So not excited about this.
Am I early?
Yeah, not excited. Not even.
So how's it, guys?
Not even excited.
How is everyone?
Great.
We are missing one.
Oh,
so you
he's always late. Well, guys, listen. I have a story. So, this is my first day at school. I knew English, but the teacher thought I didn't, because I didn't talk a lot. And then I was up to question 7 in my workbook, and the teacher took the workbook, and she was surprised that I was up to question 7, because every student was up to question 3.
Ooh.
And that was smart.
Yeah.
And that was English.
This isn't actually about me, it's about Fairooz. Back in primary school, we were learning on how to call 000. And Fairooz and her, when it was Fairooz and her friend's turn, her friend was the operator. And the operator goes like, 000, how can I help you? And Fairooz goes like, help, someone's in my chicken. She's like, ma'am, what are you on about? And she was like, sorry, my chicken is safe. Someone's just in my kitchen.
That was when I was in science. The teacher told us 3 of us are gonna move to the top class. And that girl looked at me and was like, maybe it's Lydya. And the boy was like, Lydya's stupid, it's obviously not her. He thinks I'm stupid because English is my 4th language. The next day, I checked my new timetable, and I was in the whole top classes.
Back in my country, when the teacher was entering the room, all students has to stand up, and then the teacher sits, and then the students. And when we came here, And the teacher enters the room, and me and my friend are standing up. Everyone is looking at us like, why they standing up? And we're looking at them, why they sitting down? And then we just found out that they don't do that in here.
It was recess time.
Whoa, let's go. Recess.
This girl came up to me and said, "Go back to your country."
We are going great.
I understood, but I had no idea what to say. So I just left her alone. I went back to the classroom. From my face expressions, the teacher knew that something was wrong. So she called up Elvien to come and translate for me. At lunchtime, the teacher went and talked to the girl about how this is disrespectful and she shouldn't say something like that to anyone. And that's true. People shouldn't judge without not knowing the whole story. And they don't know how hard it is unless they've been through it. That's why I'm saying my story, so you guys know how it feels. Because when she said that, I thought about the bad memories. And I thought, no way, I'm not going back to my country.
Mzee Tupa alibahatika kumuuliza maswali shetani. Akamwambia, samahani shetani, kule duniani watu wote wanasema eti wewe una mapembe. Shetani akacheka akasema, mimi ni beautiful na ni handsome. Nikikamata mke wangu.
I'm back. So, when I was 3 years, we moved to Burundi. My mom she always said that we moved to Burundi because life was hard in Congo. That's why we moved to Burundi. We lived in Burundi for 10 years. We were living great with other people from Congo. We were happy. We were living like a big family. We share many things like food, time together, and many more. But my mom she always wanted to come to Australia because she thought life was easier there than here in Burundi. So when I turned 13, we came to Australia. When we came to Australia, we were happy to be in Australia, but one thing was hard to do, talking to our neighbors. Talking to our neighbors was hard to do because we couldn't speak English, so we have to use Google Translator sometimes to talk to them, you know. So, yeah. Then we started going to school, we started learning English. Our teachers, they were nice, our neighbors, they were nice. We made new friends, and yeah, that was great. And one of my favorite memories back in Burundi was climbing trees. Climbing trees was my favorite thing to do in Burundi. I didn't have any job to do, so my job was climbing tree. So one day when I was climbing tree, something horrible happened to me. I was climbing tree as normally as I usually do every day because that was my job, just climbing tree. When I was climbing tree, I fell and I broke my tooth. But I didn't feel pain, so I was so confused. So I kept climbing that tree again and again and again. And when we came to Australia, in Townsville, they tried to fix my tooth. They fixed it on dentist. And next morning, I was so excited to look my new tooth. But when I went in the mirror, look my tooth, it was broken again. I didn't understand how. Maybe I was dreaming about climbing that tree again, and I fell. Then I fell from the bed, maybe. That's what. But I was not really sure how it broke again. It was just so confusing. I didn't understand. Okay. Thank you.
مرحبا اسمي ليديا.
Hello, my name is Lydia. Hello, my name is Lydia.
Hello, my name is Lydia. عفوا أين صفي؟
Excuse me, where is my class? Excuse me, where is my class?
Excuse Excuse me, where is my class? هل يمكنك تكرار ذلك؟
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it?
Can you repeat it?
Di Buse, I hope you remember me and our memories. I miss you so much, and I hope you and your family are doing well. I know I moved without saying goodbye to you. Even though we were best friends, I couldn't really tell anyone that we were leaving. From the first day that I met you at the park, I knew we were going to be best friends. Do you still visit our favorite spot? The castle? Where we used to sit and just talk about how we were both gonna grow up and just be with each other still? Girl, you better still remember our favorite snack from the canteen, just around the corner from our house. And when we used to go at night and just like make sure he would put salt on them, and then go and sit with the other mothers gossip about others. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I live in Australia now. It gets pretty hot and can get really cold at times. Coming here and leaving you behind was a very hard thing to do. And I wish I could see you again, but like, I don't want to come and remembering me, cause imagine how weird it'll be and awkward. Like, me coming up to you and be like, yo, you still remember me? Your childhood best friend from like 7 years ago? And you're just looking at me and like, LMAO, who are you? Like, how awkward is that? LMAO. Let your sister, your mom, and your little brother know that I miss them so much. And I hope you guys are safe. You will always have a special place in my heart, and I'll never forget you. And I hope that goes for you as well. I hope you still visit our special place from time to time. Regards, Roz. XOXO. XOXOXOXOXOXOXO. XO. P.S. Sunflower seeds, just in case you forgot about our favorite snack.
It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. I was helping Mom while Dad was talking to the bus driver about where we needed to stop for some lunch. Then Mom told me to go and say my last goodbye to my best friend. Her name was Reid. And we were best friends since we were young. So I went to and we'll have this huge door in between our houses and a little hole inside of it, and we'll always talk about our lives. So I went to the door and knocked. No noise. I knocked twice again. Still nothing. So I went back home and told Mom what had happened. She then remembered that they went to a city called Khanasor to visit her relatives. I didn't know how to feel. I felt sad, nervous, upset that I'll never see her again. And I haven't till this day. My parents were ready, the bus driver, and my siblings. We hopped on the bus and went off to our grandparents' house. My oldest siblings were already there. And I went to my grandma and grandpa. I took their blessings and told them that I loved them so much. And I'll never forget them. We had to get going. We hopped on the bus, and in the bus, everyone was upset except my younger siblings. All they knew was going to another country. After a couple of hours, we got to a police station. And the police checked our files and documents. The police gave us advice. They said we shouldn't get going and it's really dangerous and there's ISIS on the way. But Dad was a strong man and he had a brave heart. He said that he will never, ever give up on us. In the bus, Dad gave us some advice. He said, "Ab ekira na paivin, don't talk to anyone. El ekin na nerin, don't look at anyone. Unabejin eki am Arzidina. Don't tell anyone that we are Yazidi." And the police were correct. We did see some ISIS on the way, but we kept quiet and took that advice. Everybody was safe and okay, and we got to Turkey safely.
And then we made it to Australia.
And then we made it to Australia. Back in Iraq, my family used to love to tell us stories. We used to take our mattresses into the balcony and sleep under the stars while our parents are telling us stories. My favorite one was Layla and Majnun. Back long time ago, when there was only one country in the whole world, there were still some people hating on each other, but somehow a girl and a boy met, and they fell in love with each other. Their family didn't want them to be with each other, so they were gonna run away. But Layla's family knew they were gonna run away, so they were gonna kill Majnun. But they only sent him away. Layla thought he was dead, so she killed herself. Majnun found out she's dead, so he killed himself too. Now they're stars. When the first sunset comes, the first star you see is Layla. The second star you see is Majnun. They touch once a year. I don't know when, but once a year. And they touch for only a few seconds. So if you see them, make a wish, and your wish will become true.
I wish I had a airplane, so I can travel around the world in and help people who need help and do everything in the world.
Fairooz, what do you wish?
I don't know. I wish for more motivation.
Elvien?
I wish Fairooz could say anything other than I don't know.
Your wish is to become a pro soccer player.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I have two wishes. My second one is to help anyone with their medicine or anything they need, and that's a wish for me as well.
My wish is to own my own company someday and help people who are going through stuff like poverty or mental health.
Lydya, what is your wish?
I wish to get good marks at school and make my parents proud of me.
Wait, Lydya, did you ever see the stars?
Yes, when I was little, we had this old neighbor, so she knew everything. And she told us they were about to touch. We were all watching them and trying to make a wish. And they were about to touch. But I was so little and I fell asleep.
Hold up. I actually wish for a festival.
Nah, I have a great idea.
We already have festival.
Yeah, but like our own festival?
That's a great idea, but what should we take festival?
RSL!
No, in the gardens where people can see the stars at night.
Music ball.
You should go for the whole day.
6 till 8:30.
No, from 4 to 11 p.m. From 4 to 7, there will be food from all different cultures. 7 to 10, there will be dance competitions. 9 to 10, there will be karaoke. 10 to 10:30, there will be awards.
What?
What?
Food should be easy.
So bring food from different countries and different cultures.
Oh, yeah.
We should have colors.
Whoa!
More colors.
Whoa!
Whoa. Even more color.
Whoa!
Whoa.
The disco lights.
Whoa! But what kind of music should we put on our festival? No.
Depressing?
No.
Adults and children play games in the afternoons, and then there's going to be a lot of stories from indigenous people.
It could be for refugees.
Yes.
Or we can be celebrating the end of the year.
What's the end of the year? Ours is in April.
Oh, that's bad.
The purpose is for people from different backgrounds to share their experience.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's.
We should have confetti.
Oh, nice.
No, balloons.
Balloons. Where the
Wow,
balloons
that's a
at?
great idea.
Where's the balloons?
Oh my God.
Balloons.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
What about snow?
No. What should we call it? The excellent group?
No. Sharing stories.
No.
The stars of the sky?
Yes! When should we do it?
Now.
There's no time like now.
Get up, guys. Get up.
Come on, let's go.
ओ नीवी नीवी आंखों को झुका के रख ले गोरे गोरे गालों को छुपा के रख ले ओ नीवी नीवी आंखों को झुका के रख ले गोरे गोरे गालों को छुपा के रख ले है करी ना की ओए मैं करी ना किसे दे नाल प्यार मुंडे तो बच के रही तू हुणे हुणे होई मुट्टियार मुंडे तो बच के रही तू हुणे हुणे होई मुट्टियार मुंडे तो बच के रही तो बच के रही
मेरा क्या कसूर जो नशीन नैन हो गए उनके अदब ये रंगीले नैन हो गए आय हाय मेरा क्या कसूर जो नशीन नैन हो गए उनके अदब ये रंगीले नैन हो गए संभली न जाए ऐसी तोड़ जवानी संभली न जाए ऐसी तोड़ जवानी
आजा दे दे मुझे आजा दे